Tonight on Western Sports Roundup, we will take you back in time to Glen Rose, Texas, to the big barrel race, better barrel racers. We will pick you up on all of the action and what went down and who gets to advance, and we'll tell you where they're going here today.
And then we'll talk about a big event coming up in April getting put on by the National Cutting Horse Association, the Celebrity Cutting. We'll be joined even by a couple of those celebrities themselves to talk about what that experience is like and what exactly we can look forward to here in a couple of months. And after that, we'll bring it down to San Antonio. We'll catch you up on what and who were the best of Bracket 3 as they just wrapped up last night. We're getting ready for a couple more brackets after the Ranch Rodeo tonight, so we'll give you a rundown on all of that and more here on Western Sports Roundup.
That's voted on by the other members of your event. We're checking, it's good, it is good, 1.7.
Well, good evening, everybody. You are watching Western Sports Roundup, a little bit different look. We are in the Cowgirl Channel studio today across the street, but glad you are joining us. I'm Corey Keith. That's Kennedy Riggs. And Kennedy, we have a lot to get through, too, but some sad news and give you a little update of what's going on with the fires. So much tragedy so far.
Yeah, it's really not a good deal, you guys, but we want to keep you keyed in on this because it's affecting so many of not only our own viewers, but people that we care so much about personally. A lot of fires have broken out, of course, as you're probably aware, in the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma and Kansas as well. So we're giving you a little look at what's going on right now, the containment so far. The Ranger Road fire so far is the biggest one. That's a lot of real estate, you guys, 280,000 acres so far. It's only 15% contained. So if you're praying out there for something, this is one thing to keep in mind and in your prayers. The morning fire that you're seeing there on the map just broke out this morning, so that's newer news, but as this develops a little bit more, we'll keep you keyed in on all of that. So prayers up for all of those guys.
Yeah, and hats off to everybody that's out there fighting these fires. I know farmers and ranchers, their livelihood is at stake, and all the firefighters that are out there putting their lives in danger. We could not do this without you, so thoughts and prayers continue to go your way. But now let's give you some positive news. Let's get back on track to get you down to San Antonio. Nobody does it like San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, and Bracket 3 is now behind us. Remember, they had 3 go-rounds to deciding who the top 4 will be to advance, and tonight we do have some more action from the Ranch Rodeo that we'll be talking about right after Western Sports Roundup, but let's get right to the action in the bareback riding from a night ago. Bradley Miller gets the job done in unique fashion. Last year's champion, he wants to get back.
He wants to get back, and he drew just the horses that he needed this week to do exactly that. He won round 2 on a Survey horse, Squirmy Wormy. Then he went on to round 3, kept the ball rolling, won that round as well with 88.5 points. So he even upped his game there in that round, but he's number 2 in the world right now. This is a really big rodeo to get the momentum rolling for your 2026 season. This is what you're looking at right there of bracket number 3 here at the San Antonio Stock Show Rodeo for the bareback riding. A lot of great names there, and we can look forward to seeing a lot of those names here in the semifinals coming soon. But let's talk about the steer wrestling.
Oh, how can you not talk about that great horse of the year banker, Justin Schaefer? How about a little shimmy, shake, and bake right there, 3.9. He takes the round last night. He split the round in round 2, so cash is big, $5,229 to his earnings. National finalist, and looking forward to seeing what he's going to get done in the weeks to come. And a pretty stellar lineup of steer wrestlers so far. Schaefer advances, Culling Myers, and Eli Lord out of bracket number 3. But then team roping, there's a young gun and a veteran teamed up doing some dangerous things.
Exactly. Tyler Tryon and Levi Lord. That's who we're talking about here. You know, in round 1, they didn't take any money home, but they knew what they had to do in round 3 and 2. They took 3rd in round 2, 1st in round 3, and the fastest time there was in round 3, 3.9. That's pretty dang quick. That's a newer partnership. Last year, they were both here with different partners. And I would say, I think it's safe to say at least, that this partnership was a good businessman move.
I think so. There you have it, Tryon and Lord. And just so you're aware, there's more Tryons to come. Stay tuned for more. Rahman and Medlin, Tomlinson and Payne, Clayton and Del Garza, They will move on out of bracket 3, so congratulations to them. But now it's time for a little Bronc stomping action. And how about a Wyoming Cowboy now living north of the border, Q Taylor, coming off his first national finals, got a new little swag underneath his belt in San Antonio. He's off to a great start, won a round, placed in 2 of the other rounds. And you got to know that Q Taylor, he's been to the NFR, now the Canadian finals. He's a force to be reckoned with. Him, Cade Bruno, Darcy Rattle, even one of those guys I love seeing on that list. Ben Anderson. It's a pretty good look of saddle bronc riders in San Antonio.
Good look. And you know what? Q Taylor didn't take home any checks last year, so I think he came back with a vengeance, and he had something to prove. He did exactly that. Let's go on to the breakaway roping, though. When we talk about the girls, it is always fast. And this gal right here, Aspen Miller, she and her horse Jigsaw are quite a pair. This is a dynamic duo of the century. She and that bay horse know exactly how to use each other, their weaknesses and their strengths to their advantage. We'll talk more about that later, but that's the girl to watch in the breakaway roping. $5,500 just in her pocket so far, just from going through bracket 3.
Yeah, Aspen Miller. I want to point out J.C. Hammond. She's the #1 rookie this season, and she's been roping phenomenal. Hayden Thompson, last year's Rookie of the Year, she advances, and Ricky Fanning and 2 of those girls have roped the fastest calves so far in San Antonio, 1.7. Hayden Thompson and Aspen Miller share that honor for the moment. But now, as we look to tie-down roping, how about a Texas Cowboy wanting to win part of this Texas swing? Texas Circuit Champion, $7,155. Chet White gets through bracket number 3. This kid is a great tie-down roper. He's also a great team roper. Watch his fast hands right here. Picks his calf up, gets collected. Smooth is fast, smooth like butter, they say, to stop that clock, and going to get a chance to do some more damage moving forward in the semifinals.
And you know, Chet's never ended the year in the top 15, but he knew that winter rodeos like this, if you make it count, then it'll get the ball rolling for exactly what you need down the road. But so do these other guys. That's another stacked day sheet. A lot of big names. Tyson Durfee, Rushton Minnan, Haven Medjid. So the competition is tight, that's to say the least.
The competition is tight. And you know, we talk about barrel racing. She came in here like a spider monkey. That's Haley Kinzel on that great horse, Spider Monkey. $5,504 is what she has won thus far. That is a 3-time champion of this rodeo.
She won round 2, third in round 3, but consistency is key when it comes to going through these brackets, making it to the semifinals. And that horse is a newer partnership, so I think this is a good idea. She's not regretting the decision to put Spider Monkey in her trailer. That is sure of her. But you know what? That's not the only barrel racer that was quick. Morley Ward here, same amount of money in her pocket after bracket 3.
Yeah, 1 deep seep, 1 sharp Q, and she is flying around these barrels. The Colorado native, the futurity trainer. She is a pre-law major at Colorado State University, political science major.
Wow.
Pretty smart, if you ask me. Incredible jockey, and she is going to be fun to watch moving forward. That's a cool-looking horse as well. So here's a look at the bracket. This was a tough one. Haley Kinzel, 3-time champion of this rodeo. Morley Ward obviously clocking in. Kathy Grimes, I think the fastest run of the rodeo so far, and Haley Gibson-Stillwell. You can't count any of those cowgirls out.
That's a pretty good day sheet right there. Looking forward to the semifinals. But the bulls were stacked too. This is Boudreaux Campbell, 2019, the reserve PRCA world champion. He took a hiatus. What's the word you used earlier?
No,
Corey?
the word I used, it was a sabbatical. He took his sabbatical with the PBR. He had a lot of success there, but now Boudreaux is back. I love watching this guy ride. You know, that ride right there, it might not have looked very pretty, and they might say 77 points. Well, it should have taken a reride. No, when you're the only man to ride your bull last night, you keep the score. Look at the pay window, $12,476. That's his total money won out of bracket 3. Total domination. Luke Mackey advances. Bryce Jensen, Damian Wood. Pretty good lineup of bull riders moving forward to the semifinals.
Well, you're looking at some of our reigning San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo champions right there that are moving on now to the semifinals, punching their tickets to a better chance at a lot of money down there in San Antonio. And joining us today is one of those reigning champions herself, Aspen Miller, the decorated and young, beautiful, also talented Aspen Miller. Aspen, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, I think it's probably safe to say you're feeling a little bit of deja vu because rewind to 1 year ago, and you were taking the whole cake home with you from San Antonio. So I can only imagine how cool it feels to be right in your groove again in that same arena.
Yes, absolutely. I love San Antone. I love that rodeo, for obvious reasons. But I'm just happy to be back. I'm happy that it's off to the start that it is. And, I couldn't be more fortunate and blessed with the horse that I have underneath me. He's who I rode last year, and it's the same feel and the same rhythm. So I'm really excited moving forward.
Yeah, we'll talk about Jigsaw here in just a second, but I'm going to ask you about this format. 3 rounds to get through your bracket, but let's talk about the calves, because when you guys show up in round 1, all of these calves are quote-unquote fresh. They run them a couple times at home, so you don't really know what they're going to do when you guys get there, but it's all the same.
Yes, well, they have 2 runs prior on them to each bracket. Each bracket is a different set of calves. So first round, it may be a little bit better to be down in the draw a little ways just to kind of get an idea of how they're leaving. Second round is still a little tricky. You're not sure if the fresher acting ones will actually leave or go, and so you can take a true start. And then by the third round, majority of us are all gunning at them, and they're pretty true and consistent by then.
Well, I know in a setup like that, it takes a great horse, so that leads me back to Jigsaw, who was a top 3 horse of the year, Neutrino horse of the year. I mean, horsepower is everything in your guys' event. Tell us about Jigsaw and how confident you are backing in the box in these type of situations at San Antonio.
Yes, it absolutely is. He's come a long ways in a short period of time. Um, this would be the 3rd year that I've been hauling him, and last year he really just stepped it up. He showed me what he was made of. He's consistent in different types of setups, and really he just is. I've gained so much confidence on him in all types of setups that there's no second guessing myself when it comes to where I'm at or what type of calves I'm roping or what kind of setup it is. I can really just, almost not have to worry about him and just worry about my roping, and it makes it really, really easy for me.
Well, let's also talk about some specific parts of his characteristics, because I know Jigsaw is kind of known to be a short horse, right? So for anyone at home that's unaware of what that means, explain kind of the difference that it makes to be on him and in the saddle partnering with him versus another horse, and what you kind of have to do to adjust and make sure you guys are right in sync with each other.
Yes, when you say he's kind of short, he's not a horse that really drags his butt very far. He's a little more front-endy, which makes the rope break off faster. He reads my throw, so he can feel my body shift, and he kind of knows when I'm throwing. But a good example is like on my second calf, I was late, and he let me run up there and get my calf knocked down, no problem, never shorted me, never got tight. And it's just nice having him where, when the opportunity presents itself and I can be fast, he's ready for that. But if I do need to kick over a calf and take a few more swings, he's good for that too.
So 2 round wins, 1-9 and a 1-7. The 1-7's tied with the fastest run of the rodeo so far. Watching back on those videos, I mean, Jigsaw didn't even take 4 steps out of the box, did he?
No, it happened fast. It did. Like I said, he scores great. He's sharp across the line, and it's smooth and it feels seamless. And I'm just very, very fortunate to have those kind of goes.
Well, kind of cool that, you ended last season number 6 in the world, I believe, but it all started with this time of year. You really springboarded your season with the winter rodeos, and now you're off to the same exact kind of start. So I think this is kind of maybe a foreshadowing of what's to come this next winter.
I sure hope so. I'm keeping my head down, 1 calf at a time, but I would love to make another appearance at the NFR and, be a part of that. And it was a great experience this past year and truly a dream come true. And so hopefully we can do it again.
Aspen, I've been watching you rope for a long time now, and it's obviously it's been an honor to watch you progress into the roper that you are today. But tell me about how it is to rope against some of your heroes, some girls that you looked up to when you were in junior high and high school. Now you're getting to compete right next to them. Tell us about that.
Yes, absolutely. There are so many girls that rope outstanding, And, with all the opportunities that we have now and the girls get to enter, we all get to show up and, you know, roping against, people that we looked up when we were younger. It really is an honor, and it's very cool to be able to, one, see what they've done for us, and two, us younger girls push for that and continue on. And just getting to compete together, truthfully, is an honor in its own. But just kind of the pathway they made for us, it's definitely recognized and appreciated by a lot of us. And just knowing that, a lot of them are the reason for our opportunities now, and getting to compete alongside with them, it's just, getting to, it's like going to the big league, but your heroes
Yeah.
are still in the big league.
Yeah.
It's a cool feeling.
You mentioned they've paved the way, and Aspen, we're pretty much here. We're right on the verge of Breakaway being right where you guys want it to be. So as part of that younger generation, what do you think you guys need to do to keep this moving forward in the right direction to get this event to where you guys want it to be?
I don't like to speak on other people's behalf, but personally, I know that a main goal and a big win for us breakaway ropers would be more added money in our finals. I don't get into a lot of the politics, and I'm not sure, I can't answer many questions, but I do know that there are people out there pushing for us and, wanting to get us more added money and whatnot. And, we're just here to support it and, here to give our opinions when we're asked, and hopefully just do whatever we can and stay positive and represent the sport of breakaway in the best way we can, so that one day, further down the road, it's totally equal, and there's younger girls that are younger than, us, considered the younger generation, that they have those opportunities, and it's never a question.
Man, we're so proud of you, Aspen. How cool is it to see a young gal like you, so full of talent, but great head on your shoulders too, and I know that's going to help you in the arena come tomorrow. So good luck, and thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Well, we're alluding to that right now. Tomorrow is when it all is going to heat up again. Tonight we have the Ranch Rodeo in San Antonio, but we're getting ready for, of course, the semifinals, which is where we're going to see Aspen and those other returning champions come, bring it to the table, and see what they can do to try and make the finals. So you guys will have to keep the Cowboy channel turned on, because we're keeping you keyed in on all that. But speaking of staying in tune with us, up next we're going to talk about this sweet and precious horse here in Fort Worth and what kind of career this horse has had. It's all coming to an end, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. And after that, we're going to talk all about the San Antonio Ranch Rodeo. Corey Keith is actually going to talk to someone that has a good idea of what's to come. Tucker Brown will join us just later on the show.
Western Sports Roundup is brought to you by Resistol, the official hat of the PRCA, and Cowboy. Sports Roundup is brought to you by Rock and Roll Denim. Live boldly. Live in rock and roll denim.
There's something about the Cowboy that has been inspiring generations, and that story continues through Let's Freakin' Rodeo. They had a chance to catch up with Garrett, who is an inspiration to so many and just reminds us of how thankful we really are and how tough and resilient we can really be. Check this out from Let's Freakin' Rodeo.
Team roping with, you're strapped in with no legs team roping.
My brother is an incredible saddle maker. And I told him, I said, I'm roping. He said, what? I said, yeah. And I said, this is what I want you to do. And I said, we got to make a deal for this leg and this leg, to where I want a holster in this one and a strap around this one, and then we put a seatbelt on there. And we had to adjust it 2 or 3 different times once he made it. But now, like last night, I roped with Casey, and I like to rope the dummy a lot, the pull dummy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I roped just one live steer last night, and he run pretty hard, and I roped the crap out of him.
So to get on the horse, the same way you as a 5-year-old kid, you get the pulley?
Yeah.
Do they pulley you up on that
I'd
horse?
have to, but at least my girls, that's how amazing my daughters are. They saddle my horses, get them ready, everything. And then I've got a ladder that I climb up backwards on a ladder. And then we got a little stirrup that we got a snap on it to where we can take it on and off. And then I put this leg in the stirrup and then stand up, and then they pull this leg off, Then I swing on the saddle, and then they take this leg off, and then I put my other stuff in the holster that my brother made, and away I go. It's pretty cool.
So
That's pretty cool. We
When
got
I
to get a
got
video
to
of that.
Vegas, we did, we had to do that in the warm-up arena, and
I bet everybody was watching
Oh,
like,
wow.
this is unbelievable.
do you have
Yeah.
a video of it, or next time when you do it, can you get somebody video? It'd be.
yeah,
That's pretty
I got
cool.
all kinds of videos on my phone.
We need to see some of that, man.
Because no one told me that you were still roping. I mean,
Really?
yeah, and then I seen a picture on Facebook, and you're coming around there freaking about to heel down in the World Series of team roping in Las Vegas. I'm like, this guy has no quit.
There was a roping out here at Long's place.
Oh, it's an incredible story. Make sure you keep up with it. There's a look at Gary's saddle that his brother designed of how he stays in it. Yes, he's still a prominent team roper in the World Series, and he can heel one down, and the Harris boys had the chance to catch up with him. Be sure to tune in on the Cowboy Channel Plus app or that Cowboy Channel subscription at YouTube. You know where to watch it and catch up with all the great stories that they are bringing on for Let's Freaking Rodeo.
What a cool story.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And speaking of cool stories, here's another one. American Hats is bringing us their positive time story of the day, and today it's all about one of the cutest horses I've ever seen. We've had the pleasure of actually seeing this horse in the flesh before. This is Little Texas. This is a part of the Fort Worth herd that twice a day, every day, helps out with that historic cattle drive that comes down Exchange Avenue in the Fort Worth stockyards. And finally, after his 11-year career, being retired at 24 years old.
Wow, 24 years, 11 years of service to the stockyards. And I wish that horse could tell us stories of how the stockyards has changed in the last 11 years. And I know I say that cliche. A lot of people are probably laughing at me at home, but seriously, this horse has seen the change. It's been a part of the movement. And honestly, to see the cattle drive every day, it takes you back in time. If you think it's crazy, you should come down here during one of those drives. There's people from all over the world that stand right outside our studio in awe of who we are and what we do. It truly is special. And that horse got to be a part of it for 11 years.
It's so true. What a neat story. Thank you so much, Fort Worth Stockyards, for sharing that with us. But you guys, we have more to come. Coming up next, I get to talk to two celebrities to key us in on the National Cutting Horse Association and their celebrity cutting that they're putting on here in Fort Worth coming up in April. All of this is on the other side of this break.
Different than normal at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, but it's all things cowboy. It is Ranch Rodeo night in San Antonio inside the Frost Bank Center. It is going to be a night to remember, a nice change of scenery from the regular rodeo action as some of the top ranches in all of Texas and all over the country have gathered. And one of those teams and team captain and members and fearless leaders from the R.A. Brown Ranch joins us right now. Tucker Brown, it's good to have you on Western Sports Roundup today, my friend.
Hey, I sure appreciate it. It's a hot one down here in San Antonio, but nonetheless, a great day to be at Ranch Rodeo.
Absolutely. I know you guys prepare all season for this. I mean, all jokes aside, you guys are everyday ranch cowboys, and we'll get into what you do on the side here in a moment. But talk about the preparation, getting ready for this event that you guys are going to be competing in tonight.
And the good news is that, like at work, that's what we're doing. We're not really necessarily prepping for this, but working together as we do with this family and our crew. Working together every day is really what helps us get ready for these things. And then San Antonio does a really good job of bringing people in with some different events like the buddy pickup, like the hide race. And as you can see here, we love horsepower. And so being able to work our horses, getting to rope a little bit, all of that every day is really what preps us to do what we do.
Yeah, some of this is really underappreciated in the minds of our viewers when it talks about the everyday ranch cowboys. But talk about some of those horses that we're going to see tonight. I think all of the horses that you guys have on the trailer going down there, you guys have all raised them.
We have, yeah. Actually, every horse that we have tonight that's on the trailer that's going to be in the arena was bred, born, raised right on the R.A. Brown Ranch. And it's cool to have family and our crew on horses that we can raise, that we can show, that we can ranch on and ranch rodeo on. And look, we love good horses. We love the mix of tradition and technology, and we find our best when we blend those two together, and a horse is a big part of that. So being able to be be a part of the ranch and a family that cares about that, about raising good horses and getting to ride good horses. Man, I'm spoiled for my family members that just love to do that so much. And we got a horse sale coming up. So if you see something you like tonight, it might be in the horse sale coming up on March 10th.
Yeah, and speaking of ranching tradition, your guys' ranch established in 1895, so multi-generations have been involved. Tell us a little bit about the family legacy that you carry on through the traditions of the R.A. Brown Ranch.
Well, yeah, I get to be the 6th generation of the ranch, and man, Lord willing, it's going to go a lot more. I've got 3 little girls that'll be the 7th, along with 17 other that are in my generation. And there's many of us that are back on the ranch. My grandmother, who I love so dearly, she said all the decisions we make are to keep the ranch in the family and the family in the ranch. And so I'm so proud and love her so much. And my granddad, a big part of that too, who we just lost last November. So this is the first San Antonio Ranch Rodeo without my granddad watching back home. But it was really special to have the next generation come in, step up, be a part, and love on each other and keep doing what granddad did. And that's making the ranch the best it could be.
I think that's something that we all need to be reminded of here today is the family values and the moral values that we have in keeping these ranches together, keeping families tightly knitted. And something that you've been able to do on the side, I'm going to step away from the ranch for just a second. You're a big-time social media influencer, and you have been for several years now. And the vision behind that is to protect what we do, is to institute what our lifestyle means to others. And how have you been able to infiltrate that into your fans and followers in everyday life?
And it's been really fun. It's been 5 years that I just started sharing what we were doing on the ranch, and similar to what a ranch rodeo does, and being an advocate, a place for advocacy for our industry, to show off the cowboys, show off the athletes, whether that's the cowboys, cowgirls, or horses. That's what I do on social media, and that's just sharing what we're doing every day. I like to have some fun with it too. Maybe throw in some humor, which more for me rather than people that are out there, but some people like it. So it's taken me places that I never thought I'd be. And look, agriculture is changing really fast. And because of that, decisions are being made sometimes when we're not there. And so I just find it so important to let the 98% of the people who are not in agriculture or rodeo, let them know what's going on, what we're doing, how regulations may affect us. And all I have to do is tell the truth. That's the best thing, is that if I tell the truth, agriculture wins. And I love being a part of that ranching community, and being able to be a storyteller and share it on social media is just another talent that I can use, and praise the Lord for it.
Man, it's so cool to hear your story, and we're not even getting into your real story during this interview. We're just touching the surfaces of it. But I'm going to ask this question for everybody sitting at home, because I know it's very important, and this is something that you fight for. But what do we need to be doing as a whole of cowboys, cowgirls, farmers, and ranchers to be able to continue this lifestyle that we all love? Because this is something that we should all cherish together, and we've got to be able to move forward together and make these decisions. So what do we got to do to keep doing that?
I love how you said that. We really do cherish it together. And the cool part is that we have the opportunity to cherish it with so many other people. There's going to be 17,000 people in that rodeo arena tonight that are watching. And there are so many people that are interested in our way of life. And it's so cool to share. But I don't know. We don't get into ag to really share with a whole bunch of other people. We get it to be with our family, to be with the ones we love. But all we have to do is tell the truth. And that's opening the gate, showing people what we do, because what I've seen is that the fear that the farmer, the rancher is the bad guy, comes from the fear of the unknown. And that's because they don't know what we do. And people are more interested in hearing where their food comes from, how the cattle are treated, how the plants are being raised, what's sprayed on them. And I would rather them hear that from us, the true story of what's happening, rather than from somebody else.
Man, that's so good. And if someone's close by tonight and want to buy a ticket to go watch the ranch rodeo, be inspired tonight, see all these ranches. They've worked very hard to be able to compete at this rodeo tonight. Maybe find somebody to cheer on like Tucker Brown, the R.A. Brown Ranch. So Tucker, good luck tonight, and thank you for joining us today on Western Sports Roundup.
Hey, Corey, sure appreciate you.
Absolutely. Get those tickets tonight. If you haven't, join us tonight. We'll follow it right up on Western Sports Roundup and get right into the action from San Antonio, Texas. You will not want to miss any of it. But thank you to Tucker Brown for joining us. But stick around. We have more on the other side of this. We will talk about the better barrel race that happened, the Dinosaur Classic. We'll tell you the results. It's all coming up right here on the Cowboy Channel. You're watching Western Sports Roundup.
Meant to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
I genuinely feel like God has pushed me, and it's one of those deals where you have to listen, but sometimes it's like, how many times do I have to push you into where you're supposed to be?
Read the signs.
Yes,
Here's
quit
the signs.
fighting it. Wow. I think about it all the time.
Jeremiah 29:11. There's plans for you.
Gotta love it, you guys. What a good conversation. You can catch all of that on In the Loop with Jordan Jo Hollabach herself, with this week's guest, our very own Janie Johnson, two gals that we're very fond of here at the Cowboy Channel. A lot of good wisdom to take from that conversation. I actually listened to it myself, and it was great watching, great listening. But welcome back to our Cowboy Channel studios, our Cowgirl Channel studios, I should say, for Western Sports Roundup. We have a lot of cool things to talk about when it comes to the ladies in the barrel racing today.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. But, of course, there's a lot of other events going on. If you haven't downloaded the Cowboy Channel Plus app, you can get it downloaded to keep up with the action. But better barrel races, you can see it all right there. The Southeast Extravaganza. It starts today and through Sunday, so a lot of great barrel racing still to come. And as we highlight barrel racing, the Dinosaur Classic, that's in Glen Rose, Texas, for those of you that don't know. Here comes Paige Jones and Holland Hay. I'm telling you, if I had a horse named Holland Hay, it better be fast, because I don't like Holland Hay at all. I don't want to be out there in that field, but she is fast around them. 14.797. She is the day one winner for a former national finalist.
And let's bring it to day two, because this is a full weekend of barrel racing. Day two's winner was none other than Emily Wilkins with a 14.794. I love to see the triple digits when we're timing barrel racing. We really need more of that in our industry, so I love to see that. She's on Dash and Firewater right there for about $1,900. By the way, at the ripe age of 14, she had already qualified for World Championships, so this is just another day in the office for this girl.
Just another day, another dollar, and around 3 barrels we go. And here comes Suede Fur and Highway to Heaven. I feel like this is a Segway song, like a Weird Al Yankovic song, knockoff version of AC/DC song. I don't know what I'm talking about. 14.964 is the time. She runs that pattern like a second nature, smooth on the approach and electric on the exit. Man, that's a good-looking run.
Good-looking run, but there's more where that came from. Our aggregate winner overall the whole weekend, Tara Beth Calhoun, which, by the way, if her last name sounds familiar, probably because you're friends with her dad, who is Uncle Too Tall, we call him, the famous pickup man here in the PRCA, but he's raised her well on horses, and she did well that weekend. So here's a look at the aggregate leaders. That was her at the top, but of course, there are other girls there in the day sheet that brought it to the table just as well as she did. Look how tight the numbers are. They really come down to the thousandth of a second, and that's how quick they get in the barrel racing. Very
well, they say this is a game of inches and hundredths, they might say. Of course, that is an American contender. Remember, if they qualified through there, they get to go to that contender now, and then they have a chance to earn a spot in the American. Hopefully we said that right. A lot of moving parts, but you get the gist and you know where to go if you are involved in this. So everybody you're watching after the big stage right here in the backyard of Globe Life Field, that's what everyone's trying to get to through this process.
Exactly. Just one step closer for all of these girls to make it there. Like you said, the qualifier for the qualifier. But speaking of the big show, we're looking at it right here. It's coming up, guys. It really will come fast. It's just around the corner. May 22nd and 23rd. You're going to want to put that on your calendar because it's going to be a good show this year.
Yeah, it is. I can't wait for the American Rodeo weekend. And, of course, new dates. Be sure to keep that in your calendar. I know lots of changes being made, but it is a great weekend of Western sports ahead. There's a look at the famous Billy Bobs of Texas just down the road from the stockyards of where we stand right now. A busy night here on this Thursday. Stay with us. We're not done on Western Sports Roundup. We'll be right back. Well, thanks for joining us and continuing this journey on this beautiful Thursday on the Cowboy Channel Western Sports Roundup. Corey Keith, Kennedy Riggs continuing to tell you all the best stories and keeping you up to date in everything of Western sports. And, you know, rodeo's not just happening in Texas this time of year, Kennedy. It is all over these United States, and you've been able to catch up with some of that. But here's a little update from the Brighton Field Day of the festival and rodeo out in Florida. Ty Kipp, a 3-2 second run. This was from Slack in the steer wrestling. Billy Bob Brown and Blaine Vick 4-5 in the team roping. Macon Murphy 8-7 and Blake Molly 15-1-6 in the ladies barrel racing. That's just a little quick update for you from the Brighton Field Day Slack. So that rodeo kicking off this weekend. You can watch that with your Cowboy Channel subscription. Be sure to tune in 7 o'clock Eastern for all the best action.
Good stuff down there. You know it's going to be good when we go down to the southeast. It's heating up not just outside, but in the rodeo world too, of course. But you guys, we have a lot of stuff to cover. They keep us busy in the rodeo world, which is why we're bringing you our top 3 stories of the day. Clean Tree Heel advancing animal wellness with Vetericyn. Fort Worth's Little Texas did his final cattle drive back in December, and they're finally retiring him after 11 years of sweet service here in the communities of the Fort Worth stockyards.
Yeah, Little Texas with a big heart and some celebrities getting in on a little action this April on the 11th. Some cutting, that is. They have been going through some intense training, preparing for battle. It's going to be exciting, and then the excitement continues of this Texas swing. We've got 3 champions that are advancing out of bracket 3 to the semifinals. Can they get crowned champs again at San Antonio? Stay tuned to find out.
Lots of stuff to find out. And speaking of that, we'll keep you keyed in on everything here, whether it's in Western sports or maybe agriculture. And speaking of that, a developing story still right now. It's a little more somber when it comes to news. The fires in the panhandles of Texas and Oklahoma. Right there, you're looking at the Ranger Road fire. That's the biggest one so far, only 15% contained. So please join us here as we pray and send our thoughts out to these people, not just our first responders, but all of those living up there, the ranches, the houses that are in the line of fire. That morning fire right there on that map, brand new. It just sprouted up this morning. So I think that that's been more contained, of course, than the big Ranger Road fire, but you can keep the Cowboy Channel on, and we will make sure to keep you guys keyed in on all of the most important news, including that. So prayers up for everybody being affected by those fires.
Yeah, and all the firefighters and everybody that is involved in trying to contain these fires. And as we do that, we'll tell you some things you can watch coming up right here on the Cowboy Channel. Some big events. Of course, stick around with us after the show tonight. We will segue right into the Ranch Rodeo. It's a little change up from what you're used to since bracket 3 is over. This is kind of the bye day for San Antonio. Bring in the Cowboys from the ranches and have a little fun before they kick off bracket number 4.
Good stuff right there. And like I said, the Southeast is heating up too. Down in Jackson, Mississippi, we'll take you there to the Dixie National Rodeo, the biggest rodeo east of the Mississippi, by the way. One of the most exciting, action-packed, some great day sheets full of lots of good cowboys, great animal athletes, and more. You guys, this was such a fun day. Thank you for joining us here on Western Sports Roundup. Stay tuned because there's more to come today. I'm Kennedy Riggs. This is Corey Keith. Have a wonderful day.